Hello, I'm Dr. Joy, and welcome to our Reinvention webinar 2021. New year, new you. So this webinar is being recorded, and the content in this presentation is proprietary to Dr. Joy Vaughn. So any reproductions or redistribution is strictly prohibited without my written permission. Make sense? Awesome, thanks. Again, please, no photographing of slides or participants unless you have my permission. Please mute yourselves and unmute when you would like to speak. Raise your hand or use the raise hand icon so that we can recognize or call on you. And we want you to participate. And most importantly, have fun and enjoy yourself. So this webinar is part of our 90-day reinvention bootcamp, and where we teach people to move from fear to freedom. So who I am is someone who helps executives, entrepreneurs, and we recently added veterans to reinvent themselves and master the art of resiliency. And how we do this is through brain-based coaching, workshops that yield exponential results. But who am I really? I'm a native of Barbados. Yes, I am Bajan. And even though Rihanna is from Barbados, please do not ask me for her autograph because I know her, but I don't really know her. Make sense? I'm a mother of one, grandmother of two. Listen, we had to break the mold somehow. I'm an only child. He's an only child. We said, let's do this, right? I'm a former occupational therapist, had a lot of experience in rehabilitation of people who have had mental illness, physical illness, and even children. I'm also a brain and behavior specialist. I've been doing that for 20 years. A neuroeducator, I do neuropsychology research, a published author, and personally, I have reinvented myself so many times that it's not even funny, right? So when it comes to reinvention, I would say, well, I kind of know that subject pretty doggone well. But here is the thing about me that you really want to know. I am passionate about helping others reinvent themselves. And I do this through online transformational seminars, webinars for the secular and the faith-based communities. So I hope this gives you a little sense of who I am. So let me ask you, what is your destiny? We're going to take a quote from Michelle Elise Yellard to guide us. And she says, thought is the seed of intention, an aim or plan. Intention is the seed of action. And action is the driving force for destiny. So as we go through our webinar today, keep that question in mind for yourself. What is your destiny? Okay? So in today's webinar, we talk about reinvention, but what is it exactly? So today, you're going to learn the secret sauce to reinvention. You're also going to have an opportunity to create yourself newly in 60 seconds. We're going to give you 3 tools to spice up your life. How spicy do you really want it? We're going to give you an opportunity to reinvent and ask some questions. So, as you know, in order to reinvent yourself, you have to be motivated and you also have to be committed. So the question to you, as we hold that question in mind, what is your destiny, is how motivated and committed are you to fulfilling on that? And if you don't know what your destiny is, how motivated and committed are you to even finding out what your destiny is? So hold that question, what is your destiny in mind? And let's look and see how motivated and committed are you as you listen to our video.
Your life is not a true reflection of your potential. You have greatness within you. There's more in you right now that's being reflected by your life right now. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
So if you resist change, you are resisting life. If you want an unchanging life, there's one beautiful place where nothing changes, that's your grave.
In order for us to begin to break into that level of greatness that we have within ourselves, you have to make a conscious choice every day to expose your mind to positive messages.
It's time for you to be the hero in your own journey. Your future is unwritten, and you have the power to change.
Work ethic is part of the equation if you're unhappy. If you're trying to get out of something that you're not thrilled about, the extra reps in the gym matter. The extra studying at night matters. And the extra hours working on your thing matter.
So when you look at yourself and you look into the future, what do you see? What do you see yourself doing differently? Who will be with you? Who will be around you? Will it be a life of contribution, a life of adventure, a life of excitement? What will be different about you? Whatever you see, it's important that you take responsibility to become the kind of person that can produce those results.
Reshape, rethink, reposition ourselves. Where do you want your life to go from here?
Now, if you're in trouble today, the crisis is in your head. Now, that's the bad news. The good news, you can change the crisis by changing what's inside your head.
Now, in most cases, what it takes for us to shift and make that move is a crisis, is a trauma, is a diagnosis. And something inside us comes alive that was often dormant. When called to something, we can do great things.
I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it. And that's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You walk out of this room, you owe yourself. I didn't get here making excuses.
And there's no question that what is happening in the world right now is going to be very challenging. And my challenge to every single one of you that is watching this is to stop for a moment, rethink, reposition, reshape. What do you want the legacy of your life to be?
So having learned that, having seen that video, let's ask another critical question. What do you want your life to be? What are you here for? Look, no matter what age you are, what do you really want your life to be?
I think the first thing that came to my mind was overcoming and service. Like at some point, I just want to get to the point where I'm not worried about anything but giving back. Because I don't have to worry about anything anymore. So I can just travel somewhere and just help out people in other countries. So yeah, stuff like that.
Let's dream a little. Now, Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, and he fulfilled on his dream. So what is your dream? What is your dream? Yeah, so I asked you to dream a little. Take about 3 minutes and write down every single thing you've ever dreamed of doing or want to do. Maybe it's to have more money. Maybe it's to find that secret lover or man or woman that you've always been dreaming about. Maybe it's to travel the world or just simply get an amazing bunch of flowers, a bouquet of flowers that warms your heart. Whatever it is for you, take a few minutes and dream a little. Write it down. So thanks for writing all that down. Hold that thought, because now, as we said, the pathway to making that dream come true is to reinvent yourself. So let's talk about reinvention. What exactly is reinvention? We're going to look at that. Why reinvent? We're going to look at that too. Consider that reinvention is the pathway to fulfilling your destiny. reinvention has a secret sauce as well. So let's talk about reinvention for a little bit. First of all, why reinvent? Change is hard for people. Why would you even want to start something new or do something different? Well, consider that reinvention is an action or process through which something is changed so much that it appears to be entirely new. That's the definition of reinvention. However, why on earth would you want to do that? Well, there are three key reasons why you would want to do that. The first is to stay current. Despite we are in the digital age now, and as you know, things have changed completely from where they were, even 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even a year ago. So reinvention helps you to stay current and keep up with the changing times. Make sense? The second thing is to stay prepared with a plan B, C, D, E, all the way up to Z, as many plans as you have. Why? Because we can no longer rely on one pony, so to speak, to make our dreams come true, whatever that is for you, right? And the third, very important, is to be financially solvent. So we have to think about how we work our money, how we use our money, and what we do with that in order to plan for the future, okay? So I'm going to quote from my mother, God rest her soul. But she said, Joy, remember, plan your life in decades and reinvent yourself every 5 years, because that is how you stay current. And you want to look at the trends and get ahead of the trends so that the trends catch up to you. That is a process within yourself. And that's a process within itself. So let me ask you, what is the secret sauce to reinvention? Well, let's look. There is a recipe. The secret sauce to reinvention is to reset your mind. Now, as simple as that sounds, to reset your mind takes a mindset within itself. And it happens right up here in the frontal lobe, right here. This is where you reset your mind. And this has all the ingredients to the secret sauce, right in here. It's called executive functions. And this is where you do the thinking, the planning, and the execution to make your dream come true. Make sense? So there's some ingredients to the secret sauce. So let's look at this. First of all, you got to commit to operating differently, hands down. If you're not willing to do that, then don't even start your reinvention process, okay? Here are the 5 secret sauce ingredients. Number 1, manage your thoughts. How do you do that? You want to pour into your mind 100 cups of daily positivity. That's tapes, CDs, downloads, whatever it is. You want to fill your mind with positive energy. It's so easy to go to the negative, but don't you do it. Don't let that negative win. The second one is to manage your speaking. Most of us aren't even aware of the things that are coming out of our mouth. So the next thing is 50 to 100 gallons of awareness, right? Be aware of what you're thinking and the words that are coming out of your mouth. The third thing then is to manage your actions. If you manage your thoughts, you manage your speaking, then look and see exactly what you're doing. Are your actions aligning with where you want to go? Or are they aligning in the other direction? It's up to you, right? So we say 100 doses of daily, notice I said daily, consistent, notice I said consistent actions. That's what you need. And then the fourth thing is manage your discipline. That'd be 100 gallons of habitual and repetitious actions. 100 gallons of habitual and repetitious actions. Remember the video? We saw a little bit of that. They shared that with you. It takes something to reinvent. And then you want to operate from your higher versus your lower brain. And that requires 1,000 gallons of sustainable success. So consider, when we talk about reinvention and your ability to reinvent, reinvention, or the process of reinvention, is inherently tied to your belief system. I'll say that again. Reinvention, or your ability to reinvent, is tied to your belief system. So what do you believe? Do you believe you can actually do something different? Do you believe that you can actually change? What do you think? First of all, I just asked you, what did you think? So what do you say about you? Because if the ability to reinvent is tied to your belief system, it all has to do about what you say about you. So you ready? How about let's create yourself newly? Let's do that. So quieten your spirit, get very quiet. Get your pencil and your paper out, or your pen or your paper, and take 5 minutes. And I want you to list all the fabulous things about you. Give yourself permission to brag on yourself. Go. Now, what I want you to do is to circle the top 3 things, just the top 3. So let's see, what did you circle? Share.
1, I'm a legacy maker. 2, I am someone who is the pinnacle of my family. So there's a trend of bringing people together. And 3, I am an encourager.
I'm smart, caring, responsible.
Well, I think it's resilient, compassionate, lifelong learner.
I'm a hard worker. I'm educated. I'm helpful to others.
I'm loving. I keep a clean house. I beat cancer.
What was it like you saying that stuff and affirming who you really are? Because that's who you really are, right? Not all the negative stuff.
Like you said, it actually feels good to kind of say it out loud. You don't really do that on a daily basis, and sometimes I guess you kind of just forget, and sometimes life gets through you.
Well, the first thing that hit me was how practiced I am at focusing on the few negative things while overlooking all of the great things about myself, and that the things that are good about me far outweigh the 3 or 4 negative things that I had on my left hand. Put a lot of energy into seeing what's wrong, and oftentimes miss the me that's really, really right there in front of me that's really good.
Well, one thing doing this exercise has shown me is that I still downplay all the positive about me, and I still have to work on that because it was still hard trying to write these down, even though Dr. Joy and I have gone over them before. So I still see that I have some way to go in still trying to see all the positives about me.
Well, since you created yourself newly, and those things are really you, let's spice things up a little bit. So I want to give you the tools to spice up your life. So let me ask you, how spicy do you want it? Do you want it mild? Do you want it medium? Do you want it hot? Or you want it hot and spicy? Ta-da! How about that? Oh, I love it. You decide how spicy you want your life to be. Don't forget, we're reinventing. So now let's have a little fun. Given you've told me the 3 things, and that's really who you are, hold on to that. Now let's look in your life. Identify just one area that needs a little spice it up. Which area is it? Write down what you've tried in the past. What has worked really, really well? Let's dare to dream again. And so I want you to get very quiet in your spirit again. Close your eyes and imagine that part of your life being different. What do you see? What is actually happening as you imagine this part of your life being very, very different? What would you be doing? How are you feeling? So who would like to share?
For me, it was the a closer relationship with my father. We have a relationship, but it's not the same since I was a kid, and I just moved back from LA. So just kind of rebuilding that relationship with him and being like the example for my siblings to also do the same.
So you see what you just created for yourself? This new reinvention, the 3 qualities you wrote down, and your life being different? That is exactly what we help you do in our 90-day bootcamp. Our 90-day reinvention bootcamp is a step-by-step process that sets you up for the rest of your life. What makes our bootcamp different though? Let's look at that. It's because we have 3 key areas of focus that really hold people back. And this is what has you operate from your lower brain rather than your higher brain. Number 1, fear and anxiety stops you completely from moving forward. Procrastination. And when we talk about procrastination, I'm not talking about, well, we're waiting on the Lord to give us a sign. No, I'm not talking about that. Consider the Lord has given you a sign and you have not moved on it. For our believers out there, that's straight rank up disobedience. But nevertheless, let's move on. So procrastination is one of those things that you know that you should be doing something, and yet you have not taken the first step to move at all. And then you justify why you shouldn't move. See, that's procrastination. And the third, I'm telling you, is the biggest one and the hidden one that you don't see coming, and that's self-sabotage. Who wants to admit that they're a saboteur? Nobody does. But consider, when you stop yourself from moving forward, you're actually engaging in self-sabotaging behaviors. And that's where we can help you to master the art of overcoming your fear and anxiety, your habits of procrastination, and your habits of self-sabotaging behaviors. That's what our bootcamp does for you. Let's talk about our bootcamp structure. There's some prep work we do. There's a vetting process. We interview you, and we really want to know your level of commitment. So we have commitment identifiers. And there's also homework after the first strategy call. Over the 90 days, if you're admitted into our bootcamp, you will receive weekly step-by-step instructions and Q&A sessions on specific transformational topics. You get 2 additional coaching calls. You get neurocognitive coaching to uncover the 3 blind spots that undermine your best efforts that you're not even aware of. Again, we're training you using our brain-based tools to help you conquer your fears, procrastination, and self-sabotaging behaviors. But more importantly, we're actually teaching you how to operate consistently from your higher brain versus your lower brain. And that's what makes our bootcamp different. I'll say it again. That is what makes our boot camps different. The boot camps are held in a group, very small groups. Why? Because it helps you and your teammates to be accountable. So you get accountability training. So where you hold yourself and others accountable for producing the profitable results that you said you wanted to produce. You get a specific tailor-made plan to start a new venture. Again, we are taking you from your reinvention all the way through, like that caterpillar to butterfly experience that you saw earlier on, where we ask you, what is your destiny? And you're going to learn how to powerfully exist in a current one and to take your life, business, finance, and our relationships to a whole new level, something that you never even anticipated. There's more. You get a curriculum and worksheets that help you track your progress. You also get promotions of you and your business on social media platforms. How cool is that? And you get to join our Facebook group, even cooler, because you get now to continue this journey with people who have gone before and your current bootcamp pals. And you get your 7 secrets to reinventing yourself. So, as if that was not enough, you also get coaching calls with me individually, 3 of them to be exact. I'm so excited. I mean, my gosh, who wouldn't want all of that? This is the secret sauce. Listen, you may as well jump in. The water is fine, right? From what you created today, there are 3 ways that you can just jump right in. Number 1, put your email in the chat, please, if you've not already done so. And then click on the link below and book a free strategy session to learn more. And in that strategy session, we actually do a deeper dive into you and what you really want to accomplish. And then click on this link in the chat to register for your 90-day bootcamp. Sounds good? And wait, there's more. Don't forget to access your free gift as a thank you for just attending our webinar today. So I hope that you got what you needed. I hope that you are willing now to reinvent yourself. And I can tell you, there's nothing better than a new start, because at the very beginning, we opened this webinar by saying, new year, new you. Let's do this. I'm Dr. Joy, and thank you so much for attending our webinar today. See you soon. Looking forward to speaking with you. Bye-bye.
I had fears that they were fears, but not to be fears. You know what I'm saying? It was all right to be scared, but don't let that ruin everything that you've been working for how long.
It was a disruptor. And in its disruption, just like a forest fire clears the big trees away, it gave an opportunity for the sunlight to shine on the naked ground and allow the new shoots to spring up from within me.
I feel like I've come out of this 90 days with the assurance that I can achieve anything I set my mind to.
Hello, I'm Dr. Joy, and what you've just heard are snippets of the success stories of our graduates. They went through the reinvention process, a courageous journey where they overcame what was holding them back. So look, if you want to have the same results as they do, then we would absolutely love to have you in one of our reinvention boot camps. To learn more, visit drjoycoaching.com and click the yellow button in the top right-hand corner. It'll take you straight to the information on the boot camp. Looking forward to hearing and seeing you.